Hello gorgeous, this is Melanie and I'm here today and super excited about the video that I have for you. Now it's funny because I actually have the proper lighting and unfortunately it's on a day that I have no makeup on. So you get to see the real me. So I'm starting with something called First Base Makeup Primer. Now these are things that I'm specifically using. This does not mean that you have to use these particular products. I will have the links in the bottom for you to go to find them if you want them. I'm using the spray primer before I apply my foundation. Technically it says to do it in an X and then a T, but I just kind of spray both sides of my face and then go back and do my T. I do want to let this set, so what I'll do is I will come back once it's dry. What I have today are some Limelight by Alcone palettes. I have the foundation concealer palette, which is customizable. You just choose your color of foundation and your two colors of concealer. You can buy them individually. It's however you want to do it. But what I have done is I have two sets because I need the lighter two colors of concealer. So this is the 0 and this is the 1. And you see the 1's got that little green tint to it, or that color corrector in it. It's perfect for this little birthmark. And I just got a dot, actually that is way more than I need, to put on that red mark. And you see how it just totally diffuses it? It is gone now. So any of the red spots that I have on my face, any of the red places, this is a really good concealer to use. And I know this is not exactly what the technique video is about, but I do want to show you this as I go, because why not, right? All right, so you guys can forward through some of this stuff if you just want to get to the guts of this, where I actually camouflage the eye bags and under eye circles. But it's nice to know some of these things, how they work when you get them. So anyway, I'm taking out some of that redness just by applying what was left on my finger, just on the tip of my nose, just to get rid of that. You'll see how dark that is under there. But like I said, I'm using the 0 and the 1 concealers, and then I also have Olive 1 foundation and the number 2 and number 3 concealers, which I'm going to be using 3 of those concealers today and 1 of these foundations. So I'm starting with a concealer brush. This one's actually two-sided. I will put the link for this product as well. And I'm going in with this darkest concealer. And I'm just tapping. This stuff, you guys, is super concentrated. The concealers are waterproof and it doesn't require a lot. And I'm just going to tap. Normally I do my concealer after I do my foundation, but in this particular situation where I'm trying to cover these bags, I am applying a color of concealer first, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see it in a little bit. All right, so I'm taking the other side of this brush, this is a fabulous brush. If you have a fluffy brush and a concealer brush, you don't have to have this particular one. This one just serves kind of a dual purpose for me. Now, if I want to tone down some of this redness in my cheek, I haven't gotten any sun or anything, so I'm really kind of not sure what the redness is, other than I took a shower and did my face and everything. But I can bring this down and just kind of blend it into my cheeks, and I'm going to get really beautiful coverage because the foundation covers like you've never seen as it is. So let me go ahead and get a dot. See, I'm just patting. I'm not even like rubbing to get what kind of concealer I need. I can always go back and get more, but I don't want to have to take off, because when you put too much concealer under your eye, all you're doing is adding crepiness and wrinkles and things like that back. You're just making it more visible and it gets cakey. So we want to keep it as thin as possible. And the beauty of this concealer is that it warms up to your skin. So as I'm working it, it's just warming and it's just smoothing, and it's so much easier to apply. Now I'll take a little bit of that residue that's left and kind of just put it on my eyelids just to blend them in a little bit. It doesn't really get rid of everything, but you see it just kind of smooths everything out. So there's no harshness there. Now you can already see a dramatic difference just in using the concealer, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm taking my blender sponge. Now, it's a beauty blender. I'm using it dry for this particular foundation. I do not want to add water to my foundation, so if you use it damp, you can do that. What I would recommend is take a little scoop of your foundation out and put it on your hand until it warms up, add your damp sponge to it, and then use it to apply, and you'll get a little bit more sheer coverage. Or you can use the Must Do, which is amazing for moisture. So what I like to do is, this is the Must Do, and what it is just a facial oil, and it is palm rose and sunflower face oil. So it's really, hang on, trying to just use a tiny pump because I don't want a lot. Got a lot. Anyway, for people with dry skin like I tend to have, and in the summer my face is weird, but anyway, I'm just gonna kind of pat it on my forehead. In any place I might have dryness, I don't want a ton of it, but you can actually mix this with your foundation on your hand if you want before you apply. So that's a neat trick to remember if you want a little more dewy coverage and if you want it to be a little more sheer, okay? Let's get our turkey gobbler here. Always need a little moisture down there. Need to get some lipo is what I think I need. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, so now I'm prepared to do my foundation. We have something called a blenderful sponge at this company, and I'm waiting for mine. It was back ordered, but it is awesome because it's got a flat bottom on it. So you can just put it in and do this technique, and it just perfectly puts the right amount of foundation on there. And then the point, of course, you can get into your eye area and stuff. But anyway, what I'm gonna do is take my foundation in all of one, and I'm putting my sponge on here and pushing it and getting a quarter turn. And that's all I'm gonna start with, okay? Less is more, I assure you. I don't want to add too much to begin with. I can always add more if I need to, but I don't want to have to take off anything. So basically, I'm going to pounce this on in just the areas that I'm going to apply it. All right, and then I'm going to twist it. I have a real bad habit of remembering to twist because I'm so used to patting and pouncing, which works too. I just want to make sure I'm getting an even coverage. And really, I think I just wiped off my concealer that I had put on my birthmark. I might actually do that last, honestly. I think I'll do that last and then set it. Okay, so you see how this foundation is working. Now this is with the must do first. So I'm probably gonna get a little more sheer coverage than I would if I didn't use that, but I want it to be a healthy glow. And I think that's what it's giving me right now. It's giving me a natural glow, but it's still camouflaging and covering and giving me a full coverage. So I'm taking the point of this beauty blender and I'm just putting it in, in number 3 concealer just to get a little bit on there. It's actually, see, you saw that. I just barely put any. And I'm just gonna pat this right here. And you see what kind of beautiful coverage that is? Like, this stuff is really incredible. Now, you can do this technique with what you have. If you already have cream concealers or just whatever you've got, foundations and whatever. But I've just found that these work amazingly. Okay, now here comes the trick. Anyway, so I'm taking the angled brush. Let me see if I can show you a little bit better. All right, and I'm taking the lightest concealer I have, which is a 0. And I'm going to start with this one to see how this works. What I'm doing is, because shadows and darkness are recessed, we're going to try to bring those forward and make them look flat and even, which is going to get rid of the illusion of this pocket that I have going on right here. So what I want to do is I want to add this light shade. Boy, I really can't see. Just to the darkness, okay? Really can't see crap. Let me back up. Maybe I can see better if I'm a little further away. You can see how that's already kind of disappearing. Now I'm going to take this other little end and just kind of blend it down. And then I'm changing the angle of my face to see where the shadows might be now. Because the angle, when you tilt your head down, is when you're really going to see your bags. Now, if you feel like it's not blending enough, add a little warmth from your finger. Like I'm just pressing it, and then I have an easier time blending if I need to. Let's see if I've got that. Put a little more here. Now, we don't want to accentuate those bags, so we want to avoid getting it on the puffy part. We want to bring the highlight to the shadow only. Now what I want to do is just kind of get up here with the light. Woo, that's blinding. Blinded by the light. Okay, there's where you can see it. Perfect lighting. All right, so it is basically virtually invisible. All right. Is the way this light is sitting. I guess it's casting these under shadows that you can see, but when you're looking at it straight on like this, You see that? I mean, it's just barely there. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit, oops, let me get my light back. All right, I'm taking a little bit on this concealer poofy end, and I'm going to use the darker number 3 again in concealer, and I'm just going to blend it. I'm going to hold this light up like it was, because boy, I really feel like I got a better, I need 2 right hands, y'all. All right. All right, and see how that just blends it in? And voila, voila. See the difference? The side that's done and the side that is not done in these harsh shadows. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do this other side. God, that really is harsh down there, that angle. I'm going to do this other side for you, and then I'm going to come back in another. Okay, so I did the concealer on both sides so that you could see how those bags are like virtually gone. Well, depending on the light, let's see if we can get that light the way it's supposed to be here, because the shadows that it's casting are not helping this. But anyway, okay, so I did this other eye, and there you go. See that? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set this. What I have here is, and I have used this in a loose powder form and loved it, but it just would, I'd inhale it every time I tried to use it, and I'd always get too much and whatever. So I found this in a palette form, and this is another one of the Limelight palettes, which I'll put down in the links below. But anyway, what I'm going to do is taking this concealer brush that I've been using, and I'm just tapping this on here, just getting a little bit, and then I want to just push this in to my eye area. I do not want to emphasize wrinkles. Now what I'll do is I'll kind of wrinkle my eyeballs up. I know that seems crazy, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of setting, I'm doing it. All right, anyway, I am setting the powder into those little creases so that it's not making them look worse. All right, and another way you can do this is if you take your beauty blender or your Blenderful sponge, depending on which one you have, and just lay it on here. You see how much I just got? This is so finely milled, and even though it looks white, it's really translucent, so it's not showing whiteness on your face, because you can see there's no whiteness there. Anyway, and I can take this and pack it. Now, this is also a technique that is called sandbagging. So for those of you who wear powdered eyeshadows and you have fallout, or you have your bottom makeup is coming down on your lower eye right here, this will prevent that from happening. So I do this anyway before I apply my eyeshadow, and this is what's called sandbagging by makeup artists and stuff, because it's preventing any of that from running down. So I'm probably putting more powder than I need. Since I can't see, I really don't want to overdo it. All right, now with the same powder, I will just take a little bit and pop it right here on my oily spots. And if I feel like it's just blinding me or whatever, like there's too much there, I'll just take a brush and just kind of smooth it. I don't want too much, take off any excess or whatever. Okay. Now, that is my flawless face, you guys. And then if I want to set this for the rest of the day, there's something called 10 Years Younger Makeup Finishing Spray. It's an ultrafine mist and it's oil free, but you just shake it up. And this is also by Limelight by Alcone. And you're just going to spritz it on your face. Actually, I kind of did it backwards. Whatever. Normally I would do this part after I'm done with my blush, my makeup, except for my mascara. Wait for after my mascara to be done, because I don't want it to, if it's water resistant or not waterproof, I don't want it to get down on me. But anyway, I would set this, and this, I kid you not, will last me all flipping day. In fact, I'll probably wake up tomorrow and still have makeup on if I'm lazy and don't take off my makeup tonight. It's my birthday. I don't want to take my makeup off. Anyway, so I want you to see the flawless finish without it being super harsh lighting. Okay, there we go. There we go. The wrinkles under my eyes and the bags and the circles are just virtually eliminated. And I don't think I look 47 today. I don't know. Just saying. Maybe it's just my imagination and I'm just wanting to feel good. But I'm thinking I'm looking pretty darn good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching, and I will be back with another video in a little bit. finishing up my eyes and my blush and my lips and everything else. So come back for that. Thank you, as always, for being here.